Godzilla, king of the monsters, alive, surging up from the depths of the sea on a tidal wave of terror to wreak vengeance on mankind.
Godzilla, king of the monsters, it's alive.
A gigantic beast,
stalking the earth, crushing all before it.
In a cyclonic cavalcade of electrifying horror.
Raging through the streets on a rampage of total destruction.
Godzilla, king of the monsters.
Incredible titan of terror.
Wiping out a city of 6 million in a holocaust of flame.
Jet planes cannot destroy it.
Bombs cannot kill it.
All modern weapons fail.
Is this the end of our civilization?
Can the scientists of the world find a way to stop this creature?
For the answer, see Godzilla, king of the monsters.
You may wish to deny it, but your eyes tell you it's true.
A tale to stun the mind.
More fantastic than any ever written by Jules Verne.
More terrifying than any ever shown on the screen.
Awesome.
Incredible.
Unbelievable.
A story beyond your wildest dreams.
Dynamic violence.
Savage action.
Spectacular thrills.
Godzilla, king of the monsters.
Fantastic beyond comprehension.
Gripping beyond compare.
Astounding beyond belief.
The mightiest monster of them all.
See Godzilla,
king of the monsters.
Terra de tenera. Human is the fantastic motion picture record of the search for the mountain creature of Asia, whose name has become a symbol of terror and mystery. The abominable snowman. This is the claw that reaches out to kill. And this is the footprint in the snow, so astounding that scientific laboratories throughout the world are rocked by its startling impact.
This is a mold taken from the footprint found outside the cabin door. By measuring the width, the length, and the depth of the print, their composite picture described the species as being 9 feet tall and weighing around 1,800 pounds.
What did Tanaka say?
Well, he was convinced in his mind that the hair follicle was closer to that of man than to that of any other animal known to exist.
Now you can follow the relentless pursuit of the half-human monster whose earth-rocking fury broke the torturing bonds of his civilized tormentors. Half-human, he learned the terrifying power of fire over the natives who worshipped him. Half-human, he set off an avalanche of destruction against the invaders of his mountain kingdom. Human, he still felt the surging need for human love.
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Friday Night Scream Stream. I am your host, Spakenstein, looking for that pesky source right now. Let's see where there we go. Okay. Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Friday Night Scream Stream. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friend, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
How are we doing tonight, Evan?
We're good. We're good. We're rolling into Labor Day.
Labor
Labor
Day
Day weekend. Got that long weekend. Hope
holiday.
everybody's ready for that.
Yeah, man. I hope everybody's got some exciting plans. I hope everybody's planning on getting out and about and
Enjoying this last little bit of summer.
Last little bit, and then the whole next week is supposed to be high 80s, where at least in our neck of the woods. So maybe summer's escaping for some of you. Maybe it's going to be around for a while. Although we did have a nice kind of crisp couple of days.
We did. Surprisingly, in the wake of the hurricane,
I was gonna say, hurricane blew through, and wouldn't you know it, it started to feel kind of like
ironically
fallout.
brought some really nice weather with it.
It really was nice. Like you would go in the shade, and it was like cool, and just feel the crispness in the air, the humidity just gone. And it compared to like the day of the hurricane was like heading this way, it was just like I was sweating bullets. Hot soup out there, without a doubt. So yeah, we're hoping that to get more of that soon, but officially summer will be done with Labor Day weekend. So I hope everybody's planning on finding some way to end the summer on a good note.
Enjoy not working, and if you do have to work, you have my permission to relax a little bit. Don't work yourself too hard.
Relax, kick back. Hey, maybe go on vacation.
Yeah, maybe if you have to work, you should just go on vacation.
Why not? You just, they ask you where you're at. You just say, hey, I'm on vacation. But
check the calendar, pal. It's Labor Day.
This is universal. It's an unwritten rule. I don't care if it's in your company calendar or not. You can't deny me my right. This is part of my
look. This is in the Constitution,
freedom.
Okay?
Yeah, Constitution, pal. Look it up. Can you? I don't know. I'm gonna date myself here. I'm curious to know if they still teach this in school. But we had to learn the preamble of the Constitution, and I still remember the preamble to this day.
Okay.
I don't know if
you want to give a little recital for our Labor Day celebration,
touting the skill. I won't
be
bore the audience.
That'll be a bonus episode.
I could bore the audience with the 2.5 minutes, but I could song it like the Schoolhouse Rock version, which is basically how we learned.
Yeah, we'll redo Schoolhouse Rock, but you got to pony up for the Patreon dollars for that.
Yeah, that's exclusive content. We put a paywall. You want to hear me reading historical documents? It's gonna cost you extra. I just give summaries here on the show.
Yeah.
If you want sourced, factual information straight from the horse's mouth, me being the horse, then reading said document, then
has anyone done ASMR of them like reading the Constitution?
We the people. Don't even get me started. I'm sure I'm sure there's some kind of U.S. history focused ASMR out there somewhere.
Yeah, it's for the real patriots. I can't go to bed. I can't fall asleep unless someone's reading me the Constitution.
Well, that's how you know. That's how you judge a true patriot. I mean, that, or you prick their finger and you see, do they truly bleed red, white, and blue? And maybe
right.
if they don't, then I don't. Then maybe you got to question what they're claiming. You got to look out. You got to look out for false patriots.
Yeah, if your blood doesn't look like Crest toothpaste, then you're not a real American.
Right. Well, no. I see it. It's like that, but it's also got a bunch of stars in it.
Right, of course.
Like just a jumble of stars, not in any particular like uniform, not like the flag. Just yeah, just blood and stars, red, white, and blue blood, and stars. Yeah. That's how patriot blood bleeds. I of course, I don't have patriot blood, per se. I just I have Panther blood, and that's a football joke. But we're not an NFL football show here. No. We don't do sports. We do public domain horror movies.
What
Isn't that?
What
Wait.
are we here for? What are we doing again?
Were we doing something tonight? Were we? I don't know. I thought we were just supposed to sit here and, well, my fact sheet is light tonight, so we're gonna have to do a lot of, a little soft shoe and just killing some time. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, we got to work the crowd a little bit.
We do. We got to do a little crowd work's always good. So anyone tuning in, feel free to hop in the chat.
So it's Labor Day. Is anybody out there have a job?
Some people out there have jobs. That's crazy in this economy. Yeah. Would you believe it? No. And we have a job, and our job is to kick back and relax with everybody and watch public domain horror movies. And if you're looking for a vacation for Labor Day, you can't get away. Consider this a mini vacation. This is how we're kicking off the end of the summer. Kicking off the end. Isn't that an oxymoron? Is that what do you call that? Whatever it is, it's that's how we're gonna end the summer here by going on a little vacation to the beautiful country of Japan. And we're watching, I don't know if we watched like a true co-production on this show yet.
So we've had a couple foreign films or silent movies, right?
We have. And a lot of time, and it's kind of weird because with those movies you have the original version for whatever country it was produced, and I guess what was it that we saw? Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory last season, right? Okay. That's an example of American horror movies being, or foreign horror movies being bought and redubbed and resold for America, and that was pretty common. And that was a co-production between other countries outside the U.S., but it got bought for the U.S. market and retooled, right? So I don't think we've had like a true co-production, and so that's what we're gonna really be in Japan. And of course, tonight we're watching the 1959. I've seen schlock. The word schlock is slinged on this movie. I don't know if I call it that, but certainly a cult classic, The Manster, which sounds like a really ridiculous title.
It does.
It's a little strange. The
monster.
Yeah,
it's The Manster.
The Manster. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a whine to it.
Maybe if you have like a soft day, The Monster.
The Monster. Yeah, you could play with it. You could find something to do with it. But it's a pretty interesting co-production between an American producer and a Japanese production company, and it's got a lot of atmosphere. It's really creepy, and I'm not giving anything away by saying it's about a two-headed monster. Well, it's about a lot more than that, but the posters will show you the big thing here: two-headed monster,
just like our show.
Oh my god, yeah. That's why I should change our Twitch overlay so that it looks like our heads are just on top of one body. And that would be great. That would be absolutely amazing. That's our horror host gimmick, because instead of having to do makeup, we'll be one.
Yeah, we're just
person.
In one really big shirt.
So then when we do live appearances, we got to do
my arm sticking out this side, your arm sticking out the other side.
Oh my god, such a gimmick, man. We can have a lot of fun with that. No, so that's that's what we're gonna be talking about tonight. We're gonna be talking about Japanese American co-productions. We're gonna be talking about two-headed monster movies. So it's gonna be fun. And another thing that's fun and that I've been very excited for is the wonderful cocktail that Evan brings us each week in a segment which literally was trying to take over the very beginning of our show. Like as soon as we go in, it just crashes up on the screen like, hey, like you drink now. And it's like, no, we're gonna wait. We're gonna hold off on that. Hold your horses. I knew you bugged the system, Evan. I knew you hacked in here. And
this whole stream, it's we're just gonna be the drinking stream now.
yeah, I mean, hey, I don't blame you. I mean, your birds are lit. No, it's no. We have fun with it, but you're bringing us a wonderful cocktail in a segment, which once again this season we're calling.
What were you drinking?
What are we drinking tonight, Evan?
So tonight's drink is a little bit of a conundrum.
A little bit, you say?
A little bit, yeah. So I was told by our producer that in order to keep our rating, I'm not allowed to use this drink's real name, but we're gonna bear with me. We're gonna get through this.
You've been censored.
Yeah. These dang producers.
Pesky producer. I hate that guy.
Ruining all of our fun. But so, like Garrett said, we have a two-headed monster movie. So, of course, I was looking for something head-themed, and I came across a recipe. You might have actually heard of this one before. It's called the Red-Headed Lady, is how we're gonna call it.
Is it really that comedy? So you might have heard of this before.
Apparently, it's a popular shot. It's also called the Lindsay Lohan. So.
Oh, okay. Well, you could have said that. Okay. I mean, sure. Yeah. There we go.
Make of that what you will.
Okay. But, sure.
Yeah.
Lady.
Yeah. She's a lady.
Sure.
Yes. That one. It's Jägermeister and peach schnapps and cranberry juice. So it's like Jaeger and sex on the beach in a shot. And I never had one before, but the problem with that one is you're still one head short. You only have we need two heads.
That's true
for this movie. So I've come up with my own spin on that drink, and instead it's equal parts Jägermeister, coconut rum, and watermelon juice. So my thought there was, what are the most head-like fruits?
Oh,
and I think
that's right.
Coconut and watermelon probably the most head-like that I know of.
Yeah, I would.
I had to double check. Do you know coconuts are fruits? It makes sense, right?
Yeah, I would think so. But
nuts.
is it? Did you cross reference this? Did you do your research?
I
for this? So it is a fruit.
Yeah, it is a fruit.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your source? Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
but someone corroborated it.
Wikipedia is the best thing ever.
Yeah. No one lies on the internet.
No. Never. Nobody would go and deliberately change something just to troll a bunch of people.
Right, yeah.
Would they?
Yeah, so you don't usually, watermelon and coconut, not a very typical flavor combo. Don't see that one very often.
No,
but
you don't.
I don't feel like it would be that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna find out very shortly.
I will say, I mean,
it's
just a shot, so it's it's nothing.
Yeah, it's a one and done if you don't like it.
Yeah. The only obviously, loyal viewers of this show will know, and especially aficionados of Evan's segment, I'm not a huge fan of coconut.
Yeah, that's true.
But
every time coconut comes up so often though in drinks, so it's hard to avoid.
That's really coconutty.
Yeah, it's coming through.
Okay.
I
don't know. I'm getting a lot of stuff. So, is this just straight back, or do we sip this?
I mean, it's a shot. I was gonna shoot it.
This is a big shot. Oh God! All right.
All right.
Set up straight for this.
Yeah. Well,
oh my God.
Let's give this a shot. This is the two-headed lady. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's not bad. It's not bad. That's an interesting flavor combo. I'm not getting a ton of the watermelon. Definitely coconut and Jaeger
Oh
forward.
God, yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, very. It's kind of in my nose, that kind of herbal kind of taste. I don't hate it.
It's not my favorite thing, but luckily I still have a little bit of coffee left. When you wash it down with some coffee, the coconut kind of gets blended in a little better. So that's
Garrett's review. This drink is perfect to be washed down by with coffee.
Well, I don't know if you saw it, but the first thing I did after I took it was take a sip of beer. So I really washed it with beer and then coffee, and then now I'm like, okay, yeah, I do another one. Yeah. But
that's the combo.
That's the thing. It's not bad. Not bad. It's if you like coconut, you'll love it. If you don't like coconut, it's still just a shot. So.
Yeah, if I was gonna make it again, I think I might go little heavier on the watermelon. Yeah. A little less on the others, just to get that. I didn't know they just sold watermelon juice. Like I was trying to follow the original recipes, cranberry juice, and I was trying to kind of follow the template, and I was like, well, wait a second, am I gonna have to like squeeze a watermelon?
Oh yeah,
but they just sell it.
Luckily. Yeah, there you go, boom, make it easy. Yeah, that would have been way more prep time.
So thank you, Big Juice.
I guess whoever's out there squeezing the watermelons, we appreciate it. Oh, Fresh! If only we could watch Massacre Mafia style. Your recount of it has been riveting.
I'm actually pretty interested. If you're looking for a film to watch this Labor Day weekend, check out Massacre Mafia style.
It's kind of hard to say, isn't it? Like maybe you need it's a little bit of a tongue twister.
Every time I see Massacre, I just want to say Massacre.
I do too. I always do that in my head.
Alice's Restaurant.
Alice's Restaurant, Massacre. Yes, it's hard not to make that association in my head. But yes, no, Fresh. If only but there you go. Evan's got a good Labor Day recommendation for you.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I probably will watch it this weekend. So come back next week and we can all talk about it.
Yep, we'll do a whole episode just on Massacre Mafia style, and Fresh can really kind of tell us about his experience watching it. He was really knew how to find a good time to watch it.
Yeah, maybe if you have if you have to work this Monday, you have a slow day.
Want something inject a little excitement into your day.
Very appropriate
Massacre
to
Mafia
watch.
style. I almost watched it in prep for Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla, which is directed and written and produced and starring one of the guys that's in part of that fake comedy team. But I didn't watch it. But then we saw the trailer, and I was like, okay. And then now Fresh has teased some pretty interesting scenes, so I really find myself needing to check it out. It's very sexual and very racist.
Oh no!
Watch it at work, please. Says Fresh. That should be like a quote on the box, like the critic quotes. And however many stars you'd give it, Fresh. I'd be interested to know that too. But watch it at work. Yeah, that's a great little blurb for it.
I watched this at work and got fired. 5 stars.
5 stars. Exactly what I was.
I watched this at work and got promoted.
That's when you got a good job. It's like, no. What? This isn't inappropriate. This is cinema. This is just a movie. This is
art.
This is art. I mean, in its own way, it's a kind of outsider art. Here was just a scrappy crooner who wanted to make some movies. He got it done. So, but no, we unfortunately no Massacre Mafia style. But if you're looking for a movie that also has a title that starts with the letter M, then the Manster's pretty.
Yeah, let's do some Manster Mafia style.
Manster Mafia style, yeah. I mean, that's I'll go ahead and spoil it. That's the only thing this movie's missing is the Yakuza. But we'll get by somehow. It's no. Tonight's film, I have seen it before. I'm pretty sure it's around college, like that. I watched it, and it was one of those things. I think it was on Netflix, and I'd see it, and I'd see the title, and I'm like, "The Manster." That sounds stupid. Like, what a. I never had it, but then I was just looking. I was like, okay, I want to find something old and kind of weird to watch. Find it, watch it. Surprisingly good. I was really pretty impressed with the atmosphere, and oh no, yeah, fresh. I already have a guess of what that name would probably be. So you definitely don't need to say it. No need to say more. Or well, yeah, say no more. So yeah, it's pretty atmospheric, pretty creepy. Little bit of a slow burn, I will say. Doesn't get off to a good start. So, but I think we'll enjoy it. I definitely again was surprised. And of course, you got a two-headed monster, so always fun, right? And I think we'll enjoy it. So yeah, anything before we get into it tonight, Evan?
I think I'm ready. Two heads better than no heads?
Yeah, I think. Well, you could ask a chicken whose head had been cut off. Maybe he'd say, "God, that thing was really weighing me down.
Yeah,
I feel so much better without the head on my shoulders."
I really wish I had two heads.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey,
you got an extra.
It seems weird that poll coming up in the second break. What would you rather have second body part of? Two heads, 4 arms?
Yeah, would you rather have
legs?
2 heads or no heads?
No head, yeah. You could, maybe you get more done. Maybe you're just a.
Maybe that head's what's been holding you back.
That's
what I'm
saying. Yeah, if you're an classic overthinker like myself, sometimes you're just. I just need to get rid of this brain. I just need to, stop thinking.
I just need to put this thing down and get some work done.
I'm all arms and legs. I'm no head. I literally have no head. Talking out of my ass.
There it is.
There it is. On that note, I think we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of The Manster right now. Hot. Literally hot. They're in a steam bath. I'm just very, very hot. Ah.
Oh, okay. Not wasting any time.
Gets off to a pretty good start,
yeah,
right?
Really quick. I appreciate that.
And I don't know. Again, there's a lot of this movie I don't remember, so I don't know if we can call this Ape Core, but this may be.
It looked pretty ape-like.
It looked like it.
I thought we were still watching that Yeti trailer.
Yeah. Well, we know it's the. Well, I don't think it's the same costume.
The blood splatter is pretty cool.
That was a good little.
What year is this again?
1959.
Okay.
Nice little effect. Yeah. Yeah, I love a good splatter like that. Dripping down. And it's good against the, I don't know what those are called. Are they?
The, paper door.
Yeah,
thing.
I guess it's a door or a wall.
Yeah.
So it shows how ignorant I am about Japanese architecture and living. Oh shit! Oh my god!
Jeez.
Obviously, I didn't watch like through the end of the credits like recently when I was like, because I saw that beginning part. It's like, oh, okay, good, but damn, I didn't know it was a bloodbath.
It's an interesting angle.
Well, I wonder if whatever that thing was natural. Is it natural or is it just like a fog machine or something?
So this was shot in Japan?
In Japan, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, in Japan. Like an American producer, writer, director, but largely Japanese crew and cast in Japan.
Filmed in the mountains of Asia.
Yeah. It's funny, that movie actually was Americanized and re-edited, directed by the director of tonight's film. Co-director of tonight's film. There is an American director and a Japanese
He's down in the
director.
lab now. I locked the door. You'd better take this with you.
I thought he'd come back. He's
And it's
like
in
an animal
English,
now.
so
He comes back to where he was fed the last time. But he never should have
Good for
gotten out in the
us.
first place. He visited a house in the village last night.
we can
It's
do
not easy to keep a thing
subtitles,
like that from
but
attracting too much attention.
you know,
I'm afraid there's only one thing to
it's
do
a
with
little
Kenji now.
distracting to me.
Kenji!
So we're converting the base
Kenji!
into a rainforest cafe.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the perfect like climate already, and you know,
Yeah, it's
Kenji!
really humid in here.
perfect for scientific experiments.
Perfect for having lunch.
Be quiet, Emiko. I can't let you out of there. I was careless with Kenji, and look what happened. You don't understand me anymore, do you? I'm sorry, Emiko. Kenji, get back! You've changed even more, haven't you? Back, Kenji. Back.
Beep, beep, beep,
I
beep.
don't suppose you
Big
understand me
computer,
now
big computer.
any more than she does. You were my brother. You're an experiment that didn't work out.
Mad Scientist Lab's not
Sorry,
so bad.
Kenji.
Very good. When I say D, you say ummy. D, ummy, D, ummy, D, ummy. Fucking A, dude.
We built this secret lab.
This lab is so
Right into
intricate, man. Incinerator over here, like industrial equipment here, electronic equipment there.
Is all this? Is it in a volcano? Is
It's some kind of hillside volcano, yeah. You know those Japanese volcano mountains? They're everywhere.
That's that's some panache. That's some style. If you're gonna be a mad scientist, you might as well build your lab into a volcano.
Well, you know, it's kind of a Chekhov's gun. You know, if you show
yeah.
a volcano, you better be prepared to use a volcano.
They've already killed the monster, so
Seems silly to ask if this is Dr. Robert Suzuki's place. It's the only place around here.
I'm afraid you can't see the doctor now.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
is there
They come
doorbell?
all the way from Tokyo and halfway up the mountainside in the taxi they saved from the Ark, and then by making like a mountain goat for the last few hundred yards. Where's the good doctor?
Are you the man from World Press?
That's right. Larry Stanford, the brilliant and highly underpaid foreign correspondent. Tell you the truth, from what my boss says, I don't think there's much of a story here, but if there is, I want to get it.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Perhaps the doctor can give you a few minutes. I'll tell him you're here. Please come in.
Mr. Stanford, I'm sorry I kept you waiting. I'd forgotten about your appointment.
You didn't hear
As a matter of
anything,
fact,
did
your
you?
chief, Mr. Matthews, more or less pushed me into it over the phone. I'm not sure my work is ready for publicity yet.
Well, from what the boss said, I gather you're working on the secrets of evolution or something like that. Sounds great, but will it sell newspapers?
I'm a theoretical scientist. Most of my work is done on paper.
You got anything ready for publication yet, Doc?
Not yet. I can only tell you this. Look into the sky at night, and you will see a star maybe 1 billion light years away. The light that you see started from that star, even before this world existed. That's my work, the principles of existence. But sometimes it frightens me.
Good. Then maybe we got a story. One more good one before I leave
Existence.
Japan.
Oh, are you leaving?
Yeah, after this assignment. This globe-trotting is getting me down. Besides, I have a wife in New York that I haven't seen for a long time. Far too long.
How old are you, Mr. Stanford?
Forgot about my wife for a little bit. Why
Forgive
did you
me.
get back?
I ask personal
5
questions
years.
sometimes.
Time flies.
It's the scientist in me. I'm interested in the way people develop, the glandular type and so on. May I ask a few more questions?
Well, I'm supposed to be the interviewer, but if you want to, go ahead.
You look like a strong man. Have you ever had any major illnesses?
Well, it sounds like the Army all over again. Nothing worse than chickenpox.
And in this time you've been separated from your wife, have you been, that is to say, have you had any other kind of companionship?
I've been a good boy, if that's what you mean, Doc, but
Have you been
now
sexually
maybe we are getting just a little personal.
Oh, I'm sorry. You want to hear about my work, don't you? All right.
We
Could
just
use a little
met, bro.
refreshment
Chill
while we're
out.
As long as it's daytime
It's
size.
just guy talk.
Scotch?
A local version of it.
I thought it tasted different. Well, Doc,
This
what's the story?
scotch tastes funny.
Oh, Mr. Stanford,
Red flag.
are you familiar with the latest thinking about cosmic rays and evolution?
Oh, vaguely. The rays come out of space, and every 1,000 years or so, they cause a mutation. Cause some animal to give birth to a slightly different species. Is that right?
That'll do. Now you can understand what I mean when I tell you that I have a theory as to the cause of this change in species, this mutation. I believe it can be done. Not with radiation, Mr. Stanford, but chemically. I've tried a few experiments with plants and fungus.
You got any samples?
Unfortunately, nothing I can show, only theoretical records. But I don't think they make sense to you.
Well, it sounds great in scientific circles, Doc, but it's not exactly what I'd call front page stuff. You
And
know-
I only write front
Kinda stuffy
page
in
stuff. I'm a front page man.
It's the heat from the mountain. I use it sometimes for experiments. Will you excuse me, Mr. Stanford? I'll go down to the lab and bring you up some photos of my fungus experiments. They might prove interesting to you.
I'd
I
appreciate
didn't
that.
climb all the way up this mountain to hear about fungus, Doc. Uh-oh. Oh no, he slipped him a Mickey.
One more question. How do you feel about white fur?
Robert, are you sure what you're doing is absolutely right?
Right? Don't you see him? He's perfect for it.
I
Besides,
want to teach
I've
a
changed the
college
enzyme.
course on mad
It's got
scientist
to work this
ethics.
time. A physical and a psychological change. He'll keep records on every move he makes.
That's not what I mean. Do you have the right to do this to him? After all, the others were different. They volunteered.
But Tara, he's exactly the type I need. This is for science, for human knowledge. What happens to one man doesn't make any difference. You didn't seem to care for the others, Tara.
I forgot
After
how to
World War
care
II,
about
they owe us
anybody a
one.
long time ago. You ought to know that.
Good. Keep it that way.
Just give us one American to perform some experiments and we'll be on our way. We can forgive and forget. Well, we just need you to grease the wheels. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Wow, sanitary doc.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see Lugosi taking off his gloves after he shoots somebody in the neck with a syringe.
Yeah, look at this guy.
Celebratory
Got his
drink,
TV
you
and
know.
everything.
I did it. Okay.
So, sometime later.
Oh, hello, Doc. I'm sorry I didn't mean to be rude. I just couldn't keep my eyes
I
open.
like to watch.
I feel that way myself many times up here.
Seem to have collected myself a kink in the neck, too.
These are the pictures I thought you might be interested in.
Well, I'll take those back to Tokyo with me, if you don't mind, Doc.
Oh, by all means. How about one for the road?
That's not a bad idea. Might wake me up.
I'll be coming down to Tokyo very
You
shortly.
just wake up out of
We
a
must get together there.
being
I could use a
roofied,
little
and
vacation from my
you're
work.
like, yeah, I could really use a
Yeah, that'd
drink
be
to get back on my feet. What the hell?
Here's the morning report for you.
Thanks.
I'm forced to agree with you, Larry. Not much to this Dr. Suzuki report. I understand he's
I'm more
independently
interested
wealthy,
in the
one of these wealthy
Mitsubishi
crackpots.
report.
Oh, he's not such a bad guy. He serves lousy whiskey,
the
though,
Kia
gave me a hangover
report.
on 2 of them. As a matter of fact, he phoned
Or
up
the
this morning, said he was
Hyundai
coming to
report.
Tokyo. Wants to take me out on
I
some
could go
fancy
on.
dinner or something.
Geisha party?
Who knows? Anyway, I'm just filling in time till I head for New York and Linda. This globetrotting almost broke us up.
By the way, Larry, you're going to be here a few days. I've got a report here on some smuggling going on down in Hong Kong.
I wonder if you could hop a plane and go down there.
Okay,
No
that sounds
dicey.
way more
You pull this
exciting
one
than
more story
Dr.
routine on me
Fungus
once too
sample
often.
over here.
This time I'm going home. I'll tell you what you can do with that report.
What's that?
Make a paper airplane out of it and sail it out the window.
Matthews?
Yeah,
oh, yes.
what did
Just a
I
moment.
just tell
Larry,
you? I have
it's
to
for
get
you.
home to my
New
wife.
York. Can't imagine who it might be.
Okay, I'll take it over here. And how about some privacy? Put that call through here.
We gotta do a whole montage to establish an international call. Oh, okay, never mind. It was just one shot.
Oh, everything's all right. I just
Wait, who
wanted
are
to
you?
hear you.
I don't know who this is.
Just a few more days, darling. Lots of paperwork and stuff. You know how it is. After that, no more traveling. We can make a real start all over again. Huh?
We can finally be husband and wife.
I love you too, darling. But how do you know you love me? I might not be the same person.
I'm sure you're the same, darling. I haven't changed either. I've been thinking about you all the
Kind
time.
of cool shot.
Got a picture of you in my mind. It's a nice picture, but it's not the same as the real thing.
Well, it won't be long now, darling. I'll be thinking of you all the time. We're going to some kind of a party tonight. I'll pretend you're along.
Well, have a good time, Larry.
Well, we've seen a couple like mad scientist movies where somebody gets turned into a monster.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've seen this angle. Like there's some stakes to this.
Right,
Gotta
yeah.
get home to his wife.
Right. I don't know, he doesn't look like
Harry?
too
I don't
eager
know,
to get
maybe.
home.
As they say in Japan, kampai.
As we say in America, bottoms up.
Yep, that's what we here in America say.
You know, Doc, I don't know which I like better. Japanese sake or Japanese geisha?
What's the difference? Plenty of both here.
No, seriously, Doc. I've never had time before to do this sort of thing. You no idea how stuffy these political interviews and press conferences can be.
With so little
I've been
time
reporting, I just haven't
Please,
had the
let
time
me be your
to
host and
go out
let me
and
show
find
you
me
things you have
something
never
to
seen
report.
before in Japan. I've been working rather hard myself lately.
Take
Larry,
the edge off.
I like you. And
I've been working too
I'd like
hard.
to show you more of Japan.
Doc, you've got yourself a deal. Kanpai.
Bottoms up.
That there, when something spooky's happened.
I do love that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yes, someone's
Hey,
being
Doc.
a good boy.
Tell her it's an old American custom called smooch. And tell her she smooches good.
Oh, I don't
Now, wait, I haven't finished yet. Tell her she smooches good. And tell her I like to give her some advanced lessons, eh?
I don't have to tell her anything, Larry. I think she understands you very well.
Maybe, but let's find out. Hey, listen, girls, I think you're all very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Listen, you're just mashing
a
it.
special day.
You're mashing us now.
All right, Ian, I'm a week overdue in New York, and I've been like this for 3 days. Let's have the sermon and get it over with.
You know me better than that, Larry. Your wife called again.
So she called, so what?
Look,
so what?
It's really none of my business, but you were supposed to be home by now.
Have a wife?
Listen to me, Ian. I've been working very hard for a good many years, and now I'm supposed to go back and change myself to a desk in the New York office. Okay, if that's the way it's gotta be, it's gotta be. But before I go, I'm gonna do some of the things I never had a chance to do before. This guy Suzuki just came into my life in time.
So he's having a midlife crisis.
Well, that reminds me, I got a train to catch. He's taking me to a Hot Springs hotel.
And
It took a mad scientist to show me what I was really missing in life.
That's what was in that syringe.
Little did I know, I was the story all along.
This is just a long con to get to buy a car.
Right, exactly. Well, it's decently priced. I mean, I guess I really am in the market for a new vehicle.
How about a little second before a bath?
Suits me.
More sake, please.
The bath's ready now. Larry, you're about to experience one of my country's greatest treasures. Hot mineral water from deep in the earth. It has wonderful effects and sometimes strange effects.
Well, I've had hot baths before, but never in such fancy surroundings. You know, Doc, it's amazing what I never got to see and do in this country all the time I've been here. I didn't realize what fun I was missing. Still, I'll have to leave sometime.
Yes, I know. Oh, I have another surprise for you.
Oh, what's that?
Do you remember my assistant, Tara? You met her at the lab. She happens to be here at the hotel. I think you'll find her especially interesting.
Why especially?
Her talents.
You're playing matchmaker,
She is,
Doc?
first of all, an exceptionally beautiful woman. She's been to nearly any country you can name. She's intelligent, affectionate, and, well, how shall I say it? Not unwilling to have a little adventure now and then.
Sounds too good to be true. Tell me, when do I meet this lovely mythical creature again?
Why not now?
Ooh. Hello.
I'm sure you two remember each other.
Well, hello again. Say, I guess we must have your bath here. You go ahead, we'll wait.
Why wait? I can see you're not familiar with Japanese customs, Mr. Stanford.
You mean everybody? Together? Same bath? Well.
Larry, just remember
Oh,
something.
God.
I promised to make a phone call to Tokyo. Very important. I wonder if you two will excuse me.
With pleasure.
Thanks for some privacy, Doc. We appreciate it.
Well, now I've seen everything, or I'm about to.
There are two baths, Mr. Stanford. One for you and one for me.
That's almost the ice.
What's this,
It's
the wall of
so lame.
Jericho?
We operate on the honor system here.
You mean this is the Japanese equivalent of a bundling bar?
Well, it keeps us apart, but not too far apart.
The doctor tells me these are mineral baths and good for me. Hope he's right.
Fabulous.
How do you like it, Mr. Stanford?
My name is Larry. I think it's great. Having a wonderful time. Wish you were here.
Well, I'm not very far. Tell me more about yourself.
Well, not very much to tell. I've worked pretty hard all my life, and now I'm just starting to enjoy myself. How about you? Where are you from? You speak English beautifully.
I speak many languages.
Beautiful.
Is the water hot enough for you?
Yeah, plenty hot.
The real Japanese bath should be as hot as you can take it. That way you get the benefit of the minerals in the water.
Well, I seem to be getting some sort of benefit right now.
Yeah, it does. Oh, I gotta go. My hand was just experiencing temporary rigor mortis.
Is anything the matter, Larry?
Yeah, I've had enough. I'm getting out.
I'm beginning to prune. That's where I should have put the break, damn it. It's like a minute or two now. See, I'm not like, I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't want to scan through it looking for Fade to Black, but, you know, I try to go about a third of the way.
It was a really ominous Fade to Black.
It was. But they're
thought he was
fine.
gonna kill her. The way they were framing it.
That's where I put the break.
Okay.
I should have just done it at the Fade to Black.
It's okay.
You don't know what you don't know, and I didn't know that. But again, it's been long enough. God, I guess it's been over 10 years since I've seen this movie. I only watched it the one time, so certainly not going to remember where they're fading to black for the purposes of our breaks. But that's going to take us to our first break. So what do we think so far, Evan?
I like this so far. I think it's paced pretty well. I think that's kind of what's sticking out to me is that it's moving, like stuff is happening.
Well, I mean, it's what I think that I can appreciate about it is the fact that we got a very character driven story. Like we're following this reporter who he wants to get back home and he's a foreign correspondent. And then we have this mad scientist who's like, oh, here's the perfect guinea pig. And so now that's a conflict, right? And it's starting to, it's a slow burn, right? It's slowly
Yeah, so many of these films that we watch, the characters can be kind of like one note. Like there's just not really a lot of like
it's all centered around the concept.
Yeah, this is the mad scientist. This is the protagonist, the cop, whatever. So I you're right. I appreciate like they feel more like characters, more characterization.
Right. Here. Right. Yeah, there's it, and again, I mean it's written by Americans. The story was written by the producer, and then they had a writer who literally this was like one of his only credits. A lot of the people involved with this movie only had this was their only credit, or they had a few others that weren't really prominent. That's kind of the weird thing about this movie is there's not a lot of information out there about it, but as we've seen just in the first third, plenty of atmosphere, right? Plenty of a really great mad scientist lab.
Yeah, the sets in general have been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, and definitely on location for sure. So that always lends a little bit of a boost to anytime there's good production value. We're used to sometimes very cardboard sets and very fake looking things. So You can tell that they're putting a little bit into it. Yeah, it's a little more nuanced. Which again, I mean, that's what I was surprised about because the title doesn't tell you that, and
No.
and
Going into it, you probably wouldn't expect that much.
no, you really, I didn't, and so yeah, I'm glad that on my second rewatch, first third, it's got me hooked. Like I was afraid it was going to be too slow, but it's definitely not slow. I mean,
Yep, that's it. I'm hooked.
you got me. So yeah, I mean, and it was also shot, I'm pretty sure, by an American cinematographer. Like there, it's more of an American production. Definitely intended for America. Where really, pretty much before this, it was a Japanese produced film that then American distributors picked up. And so then they redub it. They film maybe some new scenes with an American name actor, and they release it for the US. And that's what the first Godzilla was. I mean, it was, of course, released in 1954 in Japan as Gojira. Like that's a Gojira, I believe. And then 2 years later, it was released by an American distributor under the title Godzilla King of the Monsters. And it was redubbed, and it had new segments filmed with American actor Raymond Burr. And so that was done for the first two Godzilla films. And it was a common thing to just have an American company pick up an already produced film. It was cheap, to not have to put money into an actual production just by somebody else's.
Make a whole movie.
Right. Yeah. It's load off my shoulders, right? You're telling me I just need one big actor and we need a tiny little set. And we just kind of got to find a way to make sure it splices in okay. I mean, you can always tell, but that was the way of it for a few years, and then this came out a few years after Godzilla, and I read this was really one of truly the first Japanese American co-productions. I don't know if that's true, but when I was looking through like filmographies and stuff today, it kind of looked like it. So that's cool. That's a kind of cool thing about this movie is, it's not just a movie that was recut and re-edited. It was like always intended for American distribution, but we're getting the flavors of like, an on location film that's being shot in not California. Like we're not in the hills of California, we're in the hills of Japan, and that's way more unique, and it's way more atmospheric.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah, they're taking advantage of it. And so after this, throughout the 60s, that kind of became a thing for an American company to partner with a Japanese company and produce a co-production that could work across the globe. So those are the trailers that we're going to see are for some 60s co-productions. The first is for a co-production between, I don't know how to pronounce the name. I think it's Toei. I don't know what it is. It's the company that made all the Godzilla movies and a lot of the other big kaiju movies at the time. They co-produced with American International Pictures a film called Frankenstein Conquers the World. That was what it was titled in America. In Japan, it's like Frankenstein versus whatever kaiju that he battles, because basically it's about somehow...
Aren't kaiju like giant?
Well, that's the thing. Somehow this piece from the original Frankenstein creation there's some kind of scientific thing that happens that causes this person or thing to be like infected with the gene of the monster, but then it becomes giant.
Okay.
So it's a giant Frankenstein's monster fighting a fucking giant dinosaur, basically.
That's sweet.
It's pretty ridiculous. And so it's got an American lead actor who's supported by Japanese actors. And it's got all the hallmarks of your typical Japanese kaiju film from that time. So it's I've tried to watch it but couldn't really get into it. The kaiju films aren't really my thing, but they're good. I know they have their fandom, but you know. So that's the thing. This is tonight's film's obviously not a kaiju film, but
who wins?
In
Frankenstein versus
don't know because
the
they made a sequel, but it wasn't really a sequel, but it was. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it's the Frankenstein monster makes like a reappearance.
We win. That's
always the audience wins. So that's the first trailer. The second trailer is for a co-production called, what is it? Terror Beneath the Sea, I believe. But so the trailer has an alternate title that I can't remember because it's numbers and it's just random. It's not Terror Beneath the Sea is easier for me to remember than whatever this trailer is called. But well, I believe maybe it's a different one. There were multiple trailers for this. And the trailer that we're watching for Frankenstein Conquers the World is a German trailer.
Okay.
So, had a little more interesting footage in it. So it's like, yeah, it's all right. It'll be fun.
We're going international tonight.
It's exactly tonight that's what this break is all about. International. We're getting international with it. So enjoy these two international co-productions between Japan and the US, these horror movie co-productions. Then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting middle of the Manster. So stick around. We'll be right back.
From the ocean's unfathomable depths, a gigantic, man-like creature appears. From the fiery depths of the earth comes a prehistoric mastodon of destruction. Never before has the screen known such heart-stopping terror. Starring Nick Adams.
Well, I feel he's very important from a scientific point of view. I'd have to cut off a leg or an arm.
Doctors, I won't let you conduct this test.
Frankenstein, with the strength of 1,000 men. And every man's need for affection that makes him a willing captive.
The chain hurts you.
The new scoop of the century. The horrifying touch of a severed hand with a life of its own. Terrifying force of a monster that dwarfs man's tallest structures.
Dabei begann es ganz harmlos, ganz alltäglich. Es ist Zeit. Frauenziehre fiel. UX Bluthund, Tauchfahrt des Schreckens.
Fertig zum Tauchen.
3000 Fuß unter dem Meeresspiegel. Eine seltsame Welt. Gewalttätig. Drohend. Brutal. Unheimlich. Grausam. UX Bluthund. 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 Zu Hilfe, was ist das? Schnell, weg von hier! Zurück zum Ausgang!
Gehen auf Tiefe. Gehen Sie Kamera auf Fernsehschirm.
Fernsehschirm.
And we are back. Yeah, I wish I could read German. Yeah, so that was Frankenstein Conquers the World and Terror Beneath the Sea. So some interesting co-productions.
Interesting monster costume.
Yeah, as Evan said, it was just too much off about it. There was just too many problems.
Very flat mouth. They're making the expression that you make if you see your coworker in the hallway and you're just like
yeah, reserved. I don't really want to engage. Yeah, and then they're carrying around guns, so it's a little.
Yeah, how come we never see that? How come none of these monsters ever just use a gun?
Yeah, I mean, then they're truly unstoppable. You can't. There's no way you're defeating that guy.
I mean, they're always immune to bullets. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's some kind of Kevlar scales. You know, he's definitely next level. Whatever those creatures were. I mean, it was an undersea thing. You know, we spent a lot of time in Atlantis last season. So we didn't see any creatures like that while we were there. We saw plenty of seahorses, but no scaly lizard gill men. I don't know quite how to describe those.
Yeah, that's after the events of. It's after they brought down the roof and all the water came in.
Right, they had to adapt, and that's when they got scales and their eyes got closer together.
That's what I call evolution.
Why don't you go teach a Sunday school class, guy? No, it's that's kind of the interesting thing about this movie is that it's about a two-headed monster, but as we can see, they're not using the route of the simple. They're not taking an easy way to like, oh, in surgery, it is like this thing of, well, this doctor is researching evolution, and so he's got this experiment. So it's all scientific. It's
the cosmic rays.
Yeah, whatever the hell that was about. I didn't follow that.
I always loved this cosmic rays. That's
those good old cosmic rays.
I had you said go teach a Sunday school class, and for some reason it popped into my head. I want to see a movie where so it's Noah's Ark, but there's a monster. There's some kind of sea creature.
Ooh.
It's a horror movie. It's called The Last Voyage of Noah's Ark.
Oh my god.
It's Dracula. Dracula's on the but there's two of them.
That maybe if they had done that, if you had gotten to them in time, Evan, maybe they could have rejigged Last Voyage of the Demeter, and it would have been more of a box office hit. I don't think it did great.
Yeah, Dracula's going around the boat. He's sucking the blood out of the animals, and there's only 2 of them. So if you get one, they're pretty much done.
It's the missing ingredient. Take it biblical. That's what you got to do. You've got the monster angle, sure, but you got to mash it up with something it wouldn't normally go with. So take it biblical. I think. Then you got a hit on your hands, but
There we go.
They didn't figure it out, unfortunately. So
take note, Hollywood.
Yeah, well, and they're especially now, Evan. We can't give them any ideas.
Oh, that's
okay?
true.
We support the writers here on
we
this
do
show.
support
We
the
are in
writers.
solidarity.
Yeah, look, yeah. Hey, maybe pay your writers for doing their job, and then take note, Hollywood.
Yeah. We're not over here handing out ideas, you bastards. You gotta come to the table with some like really actually fair bargaining concessions.
What do you mean the writers won't work for free? They're writers.
I can't spare even $1 billion of my dollars. I need this. This is my salary. This is how I pay the bills. You know how much you know how many bills a billionaire has to pay? That's why the bill stands for in billionaire.
Yeah.
I'm paying bills left and right, guy.
Do you have any idea what the overhead on this yacht is?
Fuck the billionaire studio owners. You can spare $1 billion or $2 billion to pay people what they're worth. So, not to go on a whole thing about it, but we haven't really addressed it on this show.
But if you can't tell, we are. Yeah, that's true. We haven't really addressed it.
We haven't really talked about it, but obviously,
we're in favor of. I mean, like I think everybody is in favor of the writers except the people who matter, I guess.
And I love that these studio heads try to go and do interviews and they just sound like the biggest douchebags. You can't sound like a winner.
You can't.
When you're just saying, well, this is why I can't pay you more money. It's like
not a defensible position.
It seems like maybe you could though.
Yeah.
And they're just like, and then they seem so jaded. It shines through how jaded some of these people are.
Yeah.
It's not hidden very well. You can't spin a strike. It's usually within reason. They're striking for a reason. They wouldn't do it if they didn't have a reason.
Yeah, nobody quits working and goes on strike for over nothing.
As Job used to say, lower wages, higher hours. That's the kind of strike that the Hollywood would prefer, but the studios they can't have it, so they take to underhanded tactics like cutting tree branches down so that picketers don't have shade.
Oh my god.
How fucked up is that? They did that at Universal. They cut down butchered trees, huge trees that offered shade,
painting themselves in the best light.
Well,
But anyway,
that's Hollywood, baby. So that's why it's good that we're out of Hollywood tonight. We're in Japan. We're getting a little bit more bang for our buck over here, I think, and a pretty good story to boot. So, anything before we get into the exciting middle of the Manster?
So where were we? They've gotten out of the bath and now they're dancing. They're doing the
whatever. What is that?
I don't know. That's
know.
something.
Yeah, I know. Seen it. Yeah, they're doing that, and I'm really beating myself up now because I really picked the worst place for a break. Because even when I was trying to pick it, I realized that everything after this, I'm going to go ahead and spoil it, is a montage. So I literally cut
Just going
in the
right back
middle
into
of the
the
montage. The worst possible place to cut. So you want to get a sense of my editing skills. And
we're pulling a Tristram Shandy, just a hard left turn out of nowhere.
Exactly.
Big
That's
tangent.
what we do. Well, and hey, fun fact about tonight's episode, the director was also the editor.
Oh.
So,
Fun
little fact there. So I think Evan, if you're
ready,
all right, then we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting middle of the Manster right now. The audience can't hear the skipping, I'm pretty sure.
No, that's good. Just us.
only our source. Yeah, that.
I like that. It's like a square dance almost.
It's
like
exactly what it is. Oh, it might have been there I was supposed to take the break, actually.
Great little country. Hey, now I'm going to show you where I live. Can you mix a martini?
What is that?
That's a musical martini.
Damn it. Should have made martinis.
Yeah.
Hello, Larry.
Well, this is quite a surprise.
I think I'd better go.
Jen, I forgot that you could
We've all got some
hear.
things to talk about.
Who are you?
Anybody mind if I fix myself a drink?
Oh my god.
Can I fix myself a drink?
No, Ian, there's a name for a guy who'll pull a trick like this.
Ian had nothing to do with it.
Oh, he's mad at
Dragged
her?
him here.
He's
I
mad at
told
his
him today,
editor.
Larry, I couldn't stand it any longer. Ian wouldn't tell me a thing, but it wasn't hard to guess that you'd found company.
Sorry, Larry.
Literally
Yeah, sure.
Just a few days ago, it seemed.
All right, let's not draw this one out. Let's make it front page, top banner line now. So you found out, so what?
I'm a front page
All
guy.
right.
Let's make this front page material.
I came here
All
so
right,
as
let's
I
cut
could
to the
see
chase.
you. So as you could see me. I don't want things to go on this way, Larry. You've got to make a choice right now. The girlfriend or me.
Uh-oh.
This guy's turning into a real Manster.
Yeah. So this is like a feminism thing? This is like a diatribe on...
I don't think we're wanted here.
How
Let's
men
go
are
someplace and
monsters.
finish the
I
evening.
mean, I'm all about it.
Good night, Mrs. Stanford.
Yeah, I
Larry,
saw
I'll wait here
Barbie.
till midnight, then I'm leaving.
Yeah, I saw
The choice
Barbie.
is
I'm a
yours.
feminist. I
I
saw
made my
Barbie.
choice.
Ian, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
Fight. That's all you can do.
I want to fight Ian, but he's changed. He's
No, fight the
so
girl.
different.
There's still hope.
Look, I'll wait here till midnight. I can talk to him alone. If he's not back, I'll go to the hotel.
And then?
And then I've lost the battle. What else can I do?
You want me to stay here for a while?
No. No, please go. I've got to work this out for myself.
Good luck, Linda.
Damn.
Thanks, Ian.
Drama! This dude is just... He's really, like, living on the edge. Midlife crisis.
Having a mid-transformation crisis.
Oh my god. You better be careful, guy.
Yeah.
Doors are gonna blow right off the hinge. Well, not even hinges. Well, I don't know. The tracks. I don't even know what they're on.
You know, Tara, I figured you'd live in a place like this. It fits you. It's beautiful.
Larry, why did you come with me tonight?
Thin,
Why did you make that
translucent.
I'll tell you the truth, Tara. It's you I want. I feel comfortable with you. But something strange has been happening to me lately. I can't explain it. You're the only one that seems to understand. Don't ever leave me.
No, Larry, not this way.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean, not this way?
When I belong to a man, no one else does. If it can't be that way, then I don't want him.
You're thinking about Linda?
Yes. She's not going to give up so easily, Larry. I know how a woman thinks. If I'm not mistaken, she's waiting for you at your apartment right now.
She said she'd leave if I didn't come back.
That won't settle it. You must go and tell her it's finished. It would be best that way.
You wait for me here?
I'll wait for you to come back. If you come back.
If you come back. God, I really need some icy hot. I feel like when you have a pain in the shoulder, it definitely, like, you know, all the way down to your hand. You're just like, yeah. Yeah. Next time I have that happen, I want to go to the doctor and say, Doc, I'm afraid I might have something growing. Some kind of evolutionary anomaly.
Doc, it's the cosmic rays.
I was just standing outside one night, and all of a sudden, I got blasted by these cosmic rays. They came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I checked the web. It's cosmic radiation.
Oh my god. It's like a Wolfman.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen,
Go,
Mr.
Linda,
Lon
go
Chaney
home.
Jr.
Harry, what's the matter? What is it? Can I help you?
Nothing's the matter. I don't need any help. I just want you to leave.
I know I shouldn't have stayed here.
He was primarily a
Give
handball.
up that easily.
Give up what? What we never had? You've been here all this time, you know. I've asked you to join me overseas more than once.
Larry, what sort of a life is that? Living in hotels, places not even on the map, picking up and moving every time there's a new war or revolution?
You married me? You knew I was a foreign correspondent?
I know, but I figured one day you could settle down.
Settle down.
Can't
That's
track
a good way
me.
to put it. Settle down like mud in a pool. Bridge on Wednesdays, cocktail Thursdays, PDA Fridays.
But you know
I
I
can't
never
give you this
remember.
kind of stuff, Linda. Go home and find someone else.
Larry, what's
Man of
happened
action,
to you?
Linda.
I don't know, Linda. I just
Front
want you to
page
let me alone,
man.
that's all. Just leave me alone. Go away.
I won't let you alone, Larry. I'm fighting for something that belongs to you and me. I
There's
don't know
something
how it
very
happened,
Dennis Reynolds
but
about
it won't
this
last.
character.
Yes.
This woman, she's got you all mixed up so you can't think straight. I don't know how it started.
Gets married,
Maybe a weak
immediately
moment.
leaves
Maybe-
his wife.
You think I covered all those wars and revolutions because I
Goes
was
and
weak?
hangs out at the bar.
Or maybe it's because I never put you in your place before, never slapped you down when you needed it.
Harry, what's gotten
Oh,
into you?
shit.
Something's gotten into me. I just
yeah,
forget
that's a
myself
yes.
for once, that's all. Nobody's gonna tie me down anymore. Nobody's gonna tell me what to do.
What a manster.
Men truly are the Mansters.
The real monster was man all along.
Front page headline: Manster in town, and it's me. Oh,
Got some putty on your shoulder.
time to go to Dr. Pimple Popper. Wow. It's definitely a good budget going into this, I
think so.
think. How tracking shots like this many actors. I guess those are monks.
Buddhist monks. Buddhist or are they Shinto? Is
Oh, sure. Bottoms up.
Kampai. I like that one more.
Watermelon was definitely better there. For sure. Oh shit, dude, you look like shit. You need to start moisturizing.
I heard you singing. I don't know why I came in. I was just passing by.
What is this, Home Alone?
I guess you don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe that's just as well. Makes it easier to talk. I've got to talk to someone.
You gotta have a heart-to-heart in a
Gotta get it out of me.
religious worship.
Temple.
Gotta get it out of me.
Okay, I confess I'm turning into some kind of Manster. I don't know. He said it. Good at raising his eyebrows, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing some work.
Oh shit!
Snap. We got a body.
I thought you weren't coming back.
Maybe more than
For a
one.
long time.
I told you. After Linda left, I went out for a walk.
Where did you go?
I don't know. Fix me another drink, will you? It was like a dream, sort of nightmare. Only I don't know where the dream stopped and the real thing began. I came to a temple, I remember that. And then I was walking, just walking.
Does your hand hurt? Those prayer beads, where did you get them?
I don't know, picked them up someplace.
Took a
I
little
can't remember.
souvenir.
I have a feeling I don't want to remember. I want to forget.
That's something I can do. Help you forget.
Wink.
Fade to black.
You know, yeah. Implicate the implication. Oh, headline.
Go by a fiend.
I guess it was just the one guy.
You know, I like everything about
I
this
think the
place.
newspaper's also.
But the music. Well,
Yeah.
maybe I'm getting a little senile.
You're as young as you ever were, Ian, and as kind. It's sweet of you to bring me here. No, I was getting a bit lonely. It's an understatement. I was getting ready to scream.
Linda, I asked
Still
you
you,
because I
girl.
want to talk to you about Larry. What the devil's gotten into him lately?
I don't know. Maybe it's what you just said. The devil's gotten into him.
He used to be a good reporter, Linda.
Well,
Oh, reliable.
perform
Now,
an
when I want him, I can
exorcism.
hardly
Get him
find
out.
him. And when I do, I can't seem to break through to him. You say hello, and he starts an argument. I've never seen anyone change so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't seem the same person.
What are you gonna do? You can't stay here in Tokyo forever and watch Larry go to pieces like this.
I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, Ian. But I'm sure of one thing. I still love Larry. And I'm not going to run away. Guess I'll just have to stick around for a while and hope.
Doesn't seem too hopeful for fade to black. Yes, she says. And
Well, I knew if I kept looking, I'd find you.
All right, you found me.
you
Now
look
what?
like shit.
We've got a pretty big story to cover this morning. What's the matter with your hand?
I burned it.
When are you coming back to work, Larry?
Seems to me I got some vacation due.
Yes, you have, but you're still being kind
As
of
we
my
said at
books.
the beginning
I
of
think
the
I
show,
have a right to know what your
make
plans
your own
are.
vacation.
Plans? Who has any plans? Well, Ian, do me a favor. If you're not drinking, leave me alone, will you?
I was about to. I've got an office to take care of, you know. But I have a suggestion. How about tonight? You and I used to go on some pretty good binges together.
Not tonight.
Let's
Look,
get
Larry,
after it.
confession's good for the soul and all that. Are you sure there isn't something you'd like to tell me?
You're pressing your luck, Ian.
All right, Larry, all right. Whenever what's eating you stops eating, you've got a job waiting. But remember this, it can't wait forever. Where'd you get those?
Get what?
Those.
Oh, I don't know. Picked them up somewhere.
They're Buddhist prayer beads.
You don't say.
Well, I just thought it odd you had them. They're common around here, but I've never seen you with anything like that before.
There must be a lot of things you've never seen, Ian.
Yes. The Buddhist
You're all
prayer
sheltered
Matter
here
of
in
fact, I talked
Tokyo,
to quite a few
Japan.
Buddhists recently. I found out one very good thing about
Wherever
them.
hell.
What's that?
They mind their own business.
All right, Larry.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm doing Nunya. What? None ya. What? None your business.
He's got his killing hand out.
Low key, but fun. Not as good as Lon Chaney Jr. at the camera.
Yeah, that was good.
That was wild.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, the lighting, everything is really pretty well thought out. Yeah, I really probably should go get a manicure, but just...
There's a definite cycle.
It's just
that
the one
another
hand.
theory of mine. The change doesn't come all at once. Larry Stanford right now is going through the metamorphosis. This is his old self here at the bottom of each curve. And this is his new self. Actually,
you
a
see I'm
different
not very
species of
good.
man at the top. But notice how the waves are rising.
It's sketching, but you get the
Before
general
long,
idea.
He'll be entirely on the top. Entirely a new being.
Robert, I don't like it.
That's your privilege. Not everyone's interested in mutation.
That's not what I mean. I don't like what I'm doing. I know you had to keep him in Tokyo, and at first I didn't care. Any emotion I ever had was killed in me a long time ago.
I guess they are in Tokyo.
Maybe I've just a little left, and I don't like watching it happen to him.
Are you falling in love with him, Tara?
I don't think I'm
Bro,
able
you
to fall
set
in
him
love.
up.
You don't have any illusions about
Well, I
us,
guess it was
do you? You know where you found me. And you know what happens to me if I have to go back there. That's the only reason I stayed with you, Robert. Can I make it any clearer than that?
Oh my god. So that's his wife.
Look at her, Tara. Take another look at Emiko. You knew her, Tara. When she was... Oh, what shall we say? When she was an ordinary woman. Not a bad-looking woman. Remember?
She wasn't bad looking. Wasn't great. We're not bad looking.
Can you hear me, Emiko? Can you understand what I'm saying? You think I'm heartless, don't you, Tara? You like to pretend to be a woman without a soul. But these things really bother you, don't they? I think you forget that Emiko was my first human experiment. That she begged me to try the enzyme out on her. And when I wouldn't,
So the
she
other
took it
monster was
herself.
his brother, right?
And you forget that my brother Kenji volunteered.
Okay.
After I gave him full warning.
I know all that. Is that
Dang,
supposed to
she
excuse you?
injected herself with the enzyme.
I don't have to make excuses to anyone, Tara. I'm just trying to remind you of something. Your very good friend, Larry Stanford, is going to
family
change
seems
completely.
very supportive.
Nothing can stop
Yeah.
them now.
To a fault.
I might be able to separate this from yourself, but I'm not going to take that chance. Do you know what that means, Tara? It means when he changes, he'll be an alien thing. A species that's never walked this earth before. Do you think they'll let anything like that live? Do you think anybody will?
But he was from Canada.
Think it over,
That's
Tara.
why his English
Ask yourself
is
if you can afford to fall in love with a monster like...
pretty good.
Like Emiko, the woman
How's
who
his
used to
French?
be my wife.
Oh wait, was that a reveal? Oh no, oh my bad. I thought they already said it.
Come in.
Sorry.
Hello, Larry. I'm glad we found you in.
Any reason why you wouldn't?
Put out the sputtering fuse, will you? Are you going to ask us in?
All right, come in. You know where the drinks are.
Feel like a fool.
This is my friend, Dr. Jensen, Larry. I happened to be with him tonight and asked him to come along. Hope you don't mind.
Why should I?
Everybody's got
Hi,
to have
Doc.
a drink.
How do you do?
The only way
Larry,
I really can
I
feel
think
at
you
home
can guess
in a
why I
place
want to talk to you.
to have a drink
I
in
think
my
you know your
hand.
behavior lately has not been exactly like your old self.
Now listen to me.
Now, wait a
If you-
minute. Don't blow your cork. I've got a couple of questions I mean to ask, whether they're my business or not.
All right, go ahead and
Don't
ask.
blow your cork, Evan.
First question.
Put out that sputtering fuse.
Do you remember when I saw you in a bar after that old Buddhist
Yeah, the
priest was
dialogue's a
murdered?
little over the top.
You had a string of Buddhist
Guy's
prayer
very
beads with you,
hard-boiled.
and you never did say why. Now, I suppose this is far-fetched, but I couldn't help feeling there was a connection. Now, tell me the truth, Larry. Did you accidentally see the murder or something like that? Did it set you off, put you in that rotten mood?
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth, Ian. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
You got me. Yeah, that was it.
Do you realize that your behavior lately has had every aspect of a man flipping his lid?
What are you trying to say, Ian?
How
Larry,
dare you?
Dr. Jensen is a psychiatrist, the best in Tokyo. That's why I brought him.
Flip my lid?
I'd like you to let him talk
Every
to you.
aspect of
World
a
Press
man.
will pick up the bill.
So you're a witch doctor, eh?
Well, some people do call us that. I can see right now that your case would be most
You're
interesting.
the little witch doctor.
Here's my card. What about an appointment tomorrow morning, say 10 o'clock?
Get out of here, both of you. Doc, you go and rattle your bones somewhere else. I look after my own problems.
No, we
You
don't.
can get out of here. Just let me alone, that's all. Get out. Just let me alone, that's all.
Let
Just let me alone.
me...
Let me alone!
I didn't know you. Let me alone. You don't hear people say that nowadays. Let me alone. It's not grammatically correct.
He's killing it. Pathos in this scene.
That's how it starts. It starts with an eye, a nose, another eye, a mouth, 2 teeth, hair. You got yourself a twin brother on your shoulder.
Yeah, what do you make of this, Doctor?
Voices and the theremin, and you gotta love the music. It's killing it.
Hello, police? This is Dr. Jensen. Akasaka 5, show me 132. Please send police here immediately. This is urgent.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Needle got us into this mess. Maybe it'll get us out.
Got a nice needle for you here.
How would you like 3 hands?
Oh my God! So obviously that was not expected by an electrician.
Yeah, he barely touched that.
That was good. That was great. I love the way the head.
Got us.
All right, fellas,
Yeah.
go back to the office and write this up. I'll see you in about a half an hour. I'm afraid I've got a personal interest in this one, Superintendent. I knew Dr. Jensen very well.
Mr. Matthews, I'm going to ask a favor. I wish you wouldn't print this story just yet.
Not print it now. Wait a minute. Dr. Jensen was internationally known. This is news.
Mr. Matthews, there's a killer loose in Tokyo, the worst known in 30 years, and I've got to stop him. Now, so far, we've reported every murder he's committed. This time, I want to throw him off guard. Perhaps he'll wonder why it wasn't reported. Perhaps he'll come back.
When you say don't print this story, you're asking quite a bit. I have responsibility to my readers, you know.
You also have one to your friend, Dr. Jensen. Believe me, Mr. Matthews, I'm determined to catch this murderer. I have to answer to my own superiors, and if I don't catch him, I'll be obliged to resign.
Well, I'll hold off for the time being. But you can't keep a thing like this quiet for long.
Tomorrow,
Obligatory, lately introduced detective has got his job on the line.
Perhaps by that time, I'll have something for you.
And that is going to take us to our second break. So, what do we think so far, Evan?
Things are heating up. We've got our second head is in effect.
It is
fully
finally
bloomed.
Sprung. Yeah, fully bloomed.
Yeah, it took a while to get to the eye, and then in the next scene we've got a whole head.
Yep. Finally out and about. It sprouted right out of that shoulder.
Yeah. To be fair, I think I would be in a pretty sour mood if I had a head growing out of my shoulder.
A vestigial twin.
Yeah.
Growing. Yeah, that would be
just an unwelcome guest.
Very unwelcome. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the interesting thing about like this movie is that it's dealing with two-headed monsters, and that's kind of it's a weird concept, and when you do the research, there's not really a lot of two-headed monster horror movies out there. Like you would think, okay, well, I guess you could make a two-headed monster scary, but it's surprising. Like, and that's what's good about this movie is the other ones that you find are about surgery mostly, like that it happens through surgery. Here, it's cool that mutation, evolution, and then this kind of vestigial, like this growth that then becomes this, head. It's wild, but you don't really get that a lot in movies. But I mean, is that like in mythology? Is that something that pops up, monsters with two heads? Is that kind of like I mean, obviously, Cyclops.
I feel like it's gotta be, especially in. I mean, honestly, I don't know like a ton of specific stuff about like especially Japanese mythology, but I feel like generally speaking, like all the old Japanese monsters are always some kind of weird like body horror-esque thing where it's like it's a guy with 3 legs, or it's a ghost that's got 2 heads or something.
Yeah. Well, again, that's the interesting thing about this is it was written by Americans, so
that is interesting.
It's kind of interesting that it does explore the body horror thing, but at the same time, there is like and again, regardless of like Japanese mythology, there's just something universal about mythology in general and the idea of creature. I mean, not even humans, I mean, obviously multi-headed dogs and, there's certain kind of creatures that exist outside of humans that have many heads.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting. I mean, obviously, I don't want to say just reduce it to a trope, but in a way, just something with more than one head.
It's monstrous. You
it
give
is
something an extra part.
Well, and that's the thing. It's monstrous in a psychological way, because if it, like, again, we talked earlier this season, I think, about when we watched the first episode of 13 Demon Street, about the idea of having a hand that has a mind of its own, and it's a murderous hand, right? Like the idea of that, something you literally can't control because it's the limb.
It makes a little
versus a head that has a totally different personality.
Makes a little more sense.
Influencing you. And that's the 2 trailers that we have are really 2 of the only other 2-headed monster movies. And they're both from American International Pictures in the 70s. It's both via surgery. So that's where this movie takes a little bit more of a like interesting approach with it, and it was before these later movies. But these later movies do explore that dichotomy of good head, bad head, like, and the way they influence each other to get what they want.
The duality of man.
Well, and again, all back to Jekyll and Hyde, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's kind of the prototype for. And again, I mean, as we watch the rest of this movie, I mean, that's science drama always evokes that question of, the good and the bad in man, and when we perform these kind of experiments, what do we get? And so that's the trailers that we have. The first one is for a 1971 film called The Incredible Two-Headed Transplant. I think what is it? I think that's what it's called. And it's definitely a straightforward horror movie from the 70s. It's got Bruce Dern as the mad scientist, and Casey Kasem as the scientist's friend. And if you don't know Casey Kasem, he was the host of Radio Top 40 for decades. Like, this is Casey Kasem with the, he was syndicated everywhere. He was huge. He was also the original voice of Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. Like, he was,
okay.
Yeah, like Casey Kasem was kind of a big name, and so it's weird that he's in this really terrible two-headed monster movie. But it gets even worse because the next trailer is it's not even a horror movie. It's like a blaxploitation comedy with some science fiction elements. And the trailer literally plays as like a comedy. Like, it opens like the first thing the trailer narrator says is, "It seemed like a good idea at the time," which literally seems like what you could say about the idea itself. Like when the person in the room first proposed it and everybody said yes. It seemed like a good idea at the time because it's basically about a racist old white man who's dying and his head gets put on a black man's body.
I'm pretty sure we've watched this at some point.
Did watch this Halloween 20, I can't remember, it was our sophomore year. It was when everybody was over here. We were hanging out in the very room, our studio that we're in now.
Mm-hmm.
It was on TV. I didn't put it on. It was on, I don't think it was Comet. There was some kind of channel like that at the time. This, I don't think that channel's around now, but this used to play MGM horror movies, and it was Halloween. Yeah, it was Halloween, and they were playing it, and I just had it on the TV, and we were cracking up.
Yeah.
Because it's just absurd. It is a comedy. It's definitely a comedy. And the trailer's great. The trailer's so much fun. So, yeah, I'm happy to share that because we enjoyed watching it then. So, we're gonna get these two-headed trailers, and then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting conclusion of The Manster. So stick around. We'll be right back.
It seemed like a good idea at the time. The white bigot was dying, and the black soul brother needed time to prove his innocence.
More power to you, brother.
I want to transplant my head on a healthy body. I think I'd like to donate my body to science after all.
So they transplanted the white head onto the black body. Who would have suspected that neither would care for the idea too much?
What are you guys doing to me? Shut up. Where's the rest of you? We are joined together temporarily.
Williams, stop this car immediately. Why don't you shut up?
Hey, that's telling him, man.
I should have known your kind stick together.
Will you please stop this infernal machine? Oh, just shut up. Help! Shut up. You a doctor?
So far, so good.
Then how about you taking old happy face off of here? They're shooting at us! Man, this car's a real dud.
Could I have a cigarette?
Oh, sure, honey.
Hey, man, are we smoking while I'm eating? Oh, my God!
your head out the window and see if any more is coming.
Ray Milland and Rosie Greer as The Thing with Two Heads.
You get some sleep, baby.
Why don't you stay here for a little while?
It's no use, honey. Maybe when I get used to it.
Now you know you got to go.
Yeah, so the trailers for The Incredible Two-Headed Transplant and The Thing with Two Heads, and as you can see, The Thing with Two Heads is definitely a comedy, obviously.
That's a fun one.
That was a ridiculous bit. Yeah, I mean...
it seemed like a good idea at the time.
It seemed like a good idea at the time. Yeah, there's other... I didn't see it. I wasn't in the room in time, but there was another line in that trailer that just seemed, again, to just refer to the fact that, like, this movie, don't ask us how we got here, but we're here. It's happening, and
it's too late. This movie exists.
You're gonna love it. We lost it at the dirt bike scene when we watched it. I'm pretty sure that was like what
more of a sequence than a scene.
Yeah, that's a good way.
The whole thing.
It's definitely a sequence for sure. We had a lot of fun with that movie, and that was, yeah, man, that was like you could hear the soundtrack in it. It's just the cheesiest.
It's funky.
Well, yeah, but it, as far as like blaxploitation films go, that's probably the most outlandish one, I think.
Having a white guy's head on your
attached to your body. Yeah, that might be as you saw, it was obviously a problem for him when he was trying to get it on.
Yeah, so what do you think is worse? Having a head that makes you want to kill, or having a head that what is like racist against you?
I think the racist, maybe you can get them to come around, like I don't think that's how that movie goes, but I think they just kill the racist guy. I think they just cut his head off of the other guy, and everybody lives happily ever after. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. God, I'm like over here, like I'm all, God, doesn't look right.
Gotta center myself.
Fidgeting, yeah. It's my light. Something's. That's better.
Now we're cooking.
Okay. Now I can continue with the show. Now I can move past that rude interruption. That
So
my OCD just couldn't.
we?
Huh?
Where were we? We've got this detective now. He's on the case.
Yeah,
Apparently, I thought he was getting off scot-free with all these murders, but I guess someone noticed.
My favorite character in every mystery film is Third Act Detective. I love Third Act Detective. He's always, every time they employ him, he's just not going to be effective at all, and you question why he's even there.
His job's on the line. He's going to have to resign if he can't get this case.
I love that he has stakes, but guess what? He isn't going to do shit, Evan. He's going to be responsible for shit.
He's going to have to quit.
He is.
In disgrace.
And I was 5 days from retirement. Yeah, he's not going to get there.
He's besmirched his honor.
Well, don't even, when that happens in Japan, there's only one way that you handle that. So, foreshadowing, perhaps. So I think anything before we get into it, Evan? Any last
words?
Predictions, words, anything like that?
Well, I do want to remind the audience there is a volcano in play. So
Chekhov's volcano.
Yeah.
You may have heard of it.
I won't say that it wouldn't be a little predictable, but it wouldn't also be unwelcome.
Yeah.
I like a volcano.
I mean, we celebrate. It's so funny. I should have mentioned this earlier when we watched the trailer for Frankenstein Conquers the World, but we celebrated Frankenstein Day earlier this week.
Yes, we did.
And one thing I don't remember if I mentioned back a year ago when we did our symposium, but the original stage play's third act, or I don't know how many acts it had, but the climax takes place at the top of a volcano.
Okay.
So
are there? Where does it take place in Germany? Where's Frankenstein?
Frankenstein is so weird because it's like a globe-trotting story. It doesn't just
I guess that's
take
true.
place in one spot.
Yeah.
They are the book.
Right.
Movies
he's on the
usually
run.
just keep it set in one location, right? They don't go because it's hard. It's hard to keep track of that. I think there was a Frankenstein adaptation I watched that tried to kind of follow the globe-trotting angle, and it's just a lot.
Yeah, it's hard to shoot something like that.
It is. But there again, the volcano is not it's not outside the realm of dramatic possibilities.
I like it. It is very dramatic. In the book they end up in Antarctica or something. So
yeah,
kind
which
of the
is
opposite
so
of a volcano.
Cold is the perfect word for it in the sense that it's just like, whereas you think about a lot of Frankenstein movies and with a fiery climax, they end hot, and the novel is literally the coldest. Like,
that's true.
Frankenstein dies, the monster jumps off like into the dark. We don't know if he lives or dies, and it's the most depressing ending, and it's not like, it doesn't get your energy up at all. So it's good that we're getting to see a little bit of volcano action here tonight. We will. I mean, not to give anything away, but we established that much like Chekhov's gun, if you see it in the first act, it has to go off later in the play.
This volcano is going to erupt.
It is. It's full on guitar solo eruption. Just wait.
What I want to know is, are these two ladies still gonna fight over this guy?
I hope not. I hope they learn their lesson.
Do you stand by your man if he grows a second head?
Well, maybe do you have to choose? You have to decide which one.
Hey, she said for better or for worse.
Who does your heart really belong to? The head on the left or the head on the right? That's all it comes down to. Which side is the head on? No, we'll find out. There's more to it than that. So yeah, on that note, Evan, I think we're ready. Then we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of the Manster right now.
This guy's had his pipe like always in every scene.
It's like, I've got to investigate an important story, but I guess I can keep my lungs exercising.
I take my pipe everywhere.
Are you here?
I have to stay in perfect health. That's why I always puff on my pipe. It's good. They're doing good. Those damn beads. Oh, shit!
You must be the cleaning woman. Come inside. Dozo.
Oh my god. What did he just give her a bottle of alcohol?
Yeah.
My apologies. My apologies.
Usually we get a pattern from something like this, but not this time. He seems to strike blindly, without reason.
That's a very impressive map, Superintendent. But just exactly what are you doing about these murders?
Well, we've doubled the police on duty, and every officer carries extra arms. And we've deployed our men so that reinforcements are always nearby.
I'd like to know, sir, when do you expect to catch the killer?
Extra head.
I'm sorry, I don't know. If we
Finally,
could find a pattern, I might be able to estimate. But this killer, well, he doesn't even seem to be human. Any more questions, gentlemen?
Is that all you've got for us?
That's all I have right now.
Well, thanks, Superintendent. The next time you call us in, I hope you've got more of a story.
Yo, that was a terrible press conference. You suck at this.
This meeting could have been an email.
Well, Mr. Matthews, I suppose you're not satisfied either.
Superintendent, I've come to a decision. Not an easy one. But I'm thinking of your men out there and all the others who may shortly find themselves victims.
I know who did it.
I'm afraid I have something very important to tell you.
The actor playing the inspector is from New York City, and again spoke English, so that's why they. Oh my God, dude! Look at it.
Look at that head.
Look at that head. And I love how his face has gotten all like he's got fangs and hair.
Kind of a Mr. Hyde and Mr. Hyde situation.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about monsters with two heads is like, what advantage does that even give you? If it seems like it's only like a negative or like a neutral.
Yeah, it's gonna freak people out. Yeah, I mean that's probably why there haven't been very many.
I mean, it's like it's kind of weird. But,
yeah.
It's like what? How is a two-headed monster that much different from
Love that graveyard. Spooky. Oh shit!
Oh.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Yes, it does look bad. But still, you can never tell about
Yes,
evidence.
it does.
It's very deceiving. Hi. Soka.
Hi.
Well, he's killed someone else. This time one of my policemen.
Are you sure it was the same killer?
No doubt. And he got away again.
I just can't believe it was Larry.
Well, whether we're sure of it or not, Mr. Matthews, the time has come to take some
Yeah, that was a failed early
if we can
90s
find it.
sitcom from
bound to return
a
to his
comedian
apartment sooner or
named
later.
Larry
Suppose he was mistaken.
Reinfeld, and
I'm gonna
you
handle
know,
this
obviously
and I'd like you to come
it just
along.
didn't go very well. I just can't believe it's Larry. It was the only network television show to be canceled after one episode.
Isn't there like a whole storyline on Seinfeld about how they think Kramer might be a serial killer?
he gets arrested.
Yeah.
It's pretty absurd. That show
Larry?
went to some absurd places. Especially after Larry David left. That's why some people are iffy on the later seasons. Because they just kind of
Larry!
jump the shark every episode.
Was the head moved?
Yeah, it was.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do that. I don't know if it's...
Like a puppet.
Yeah, I don't know if they're using like some kind of air pumps or just strings or...
There he goes! Yamada, sweet koi. Okanamono, shitani ke.
I love being the actor running around looking at the It's probably kind of uncomfortable, I would imagine.
Probably, yeah.
This is stock music from somewhere, and I can't remember. Maybe Monty Python used it. I can't. No, I've heard it. I love that. The lighting back there.
We've had a couple of these like that, like the down the street kind of
perspective. Man, he's just taking people out left and right.
It's on a rampage right now.
The body count in this movie is relatively high.
It really is, yeah. He's taking people out left and right.
Yeah.
Better than Lon Chaney.
Tables. Yeah, he understood the assignment. He wasn't blind drunk.
Right.
取り逃がしたようですな。残念です。
残念でしたね。So, like, traditional Japanese houses got to be very fun to just like
destroy. Oh my god, you could just crash through the wall.
You just Kool-Aid Man right through the wall.
That would be amazing. But I guess that's an Austin Powers bit, right? Doesn't fat bastard come crashing through one? Oh, Mike Myers, comedic genius.
Oh. Well, it's fortunate she wasn't here. But I wonder where she went to. He's going to try and get her.
Still looking for that pattern, Superintendent?
No, I'm afraid I'm just trusting to luck now.
Superintendent.
Yes.
When you find him, will you remember that something's happened to him? Something he can't control. I know, Larry.
Are you asking me not to shoot to kill?
Yes, I am.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Stanford. I can't promise anything right now.
Dealing with an American. I've got to think like an American about this. The answer is shoot to kill.
He's been sighted at the shipyards. Come on.
And he's killed all of my men, so I'd better be on my way.
Quick to the shipyards. So do we need to bring bathing suits or...
There he goes!
What kind of...
What's he doing?
Try not to shoot! Take him alive!
Take him alive! He gave the command.
We better wait here.
trench Paper mache head. I love the trench coat too. Of course, he was wearing the perfect trench coat that would allow the second head to have plenty of room and, you know, like break, like, you know, put a hole in the coat or anything.
Yeah, it just looked normal back then because everyone was wearing trench coats.
I'm just holding my son. It's just his. you're standing behind us. You can't see very well.
Just taking my son to see the ship.
I'm an acrobat, so I like to, you know, take my son with me, give him the, you know, acrobat's tour. Really just leaping and bounding across the scaffolding with an infant in my arms.
Oh.
Like, did he even do anything? The guy just jumped and missed. Got him. Oh. Kind of reminds me of Little Shop of Horrors. Running through,
yeah.
like,
through this industrial site.
Skid Row Industrial Park.
These cops are not very effectual so far. I like that there's a lot of them.
There's so many, dude. It's the actual police force. Tokyo's like, yeah, we got men to spare. It's 1959. What do we have to worry about?
Well, between this and heat treatment, there's a chance. I'm not sure, but there's bound to be some sort of change.
If he comes back.
He'll be here. Kenji came back, remember? At the risk of being overpoetic, let me put it this way. He was conceived in the mountain. He'll return to the mountain.
You shouldn't have done it, Robert. You shouldn't have started the whole thing.
I suppose I'm just beginning to realize that. Still, look what I've given to science. It's all in this notebook, the whole case history, except for one detail, the formula for the enzyme. I don't want this experiment to repeat it, ever.
I don't know what your plans are, but don't destroy him. Not the way you destroyed Kenji. Promise me that.
You did fall in love with Gladys Stanford, didn't you?
Can't replicate the experiment, is
Tara,
it really science?
some of us aren't meant to know love. Not as ordinary people do. I haven't had very good luck myself in that respect.
But you've got to try with Larry. You've got to try to bring him back.
I tried with Kenji, and I kept trying with Emiko, even when I knew it was hopeless. I'm afraid that was a mistake.
Just not very good at science.
But with this new injection and heat, lots of heat, it may work.
Told him my lab
He might
coat
separate
fool
completely,
you. I just
split into two human beings.
can't quite get it nailed down.
But Tara, what will they be?
I'm leaving you, Robert.
You can't leave me, Tara. We've gone through this before. Do you want to go back to where I found you?
Yes, I'll go back to that if necessary.
Don't talk like a child.
You
Haven't I treated
know
you well?
what?
Bought you anything you wanted? What else do you want? The illusion of respectability? All right, if that's what you want, I'll marry you. That can be arranged now.
You may need this, Robert.
Oh, shit. Can you guess what that is?
I was really just joking earlier.
No, you should have known. Man, this is all about honor, okay?
Yeah.
It was bound to come up.
We'll have no choice but to quit his job.
Police department. Inspector Aida, please.
I was wondering how that's pronounced because it's spelled A-I-D-A.
You understand me, Emiko.
I was almost
Emiko,
saying
try hard.
Aida.
Try this time. You used to be my wife. And before that, You were my sweetheart. Remember? We went to America. We went to the university together. We had wonderful plans.
The University of America.
We were going to be great scientists.
American University.
Like Pierre and Marie Curie. But it didn't work out that way, did it, Emiko? I'm sorry.
Home of the Fighting Eagles.
I don't know why.
Yikes.
Maybe I offended the gods.
Oh.
Honey?
Mythology.
I didn't used to believe in gods. Forgive me.
Step right up and shoot your wife.
You there, sir, in the white coat.
You look like a man who's pretty sick and tired of taking care of your deformed wife.
I see.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
I see.
Some good deep focus photography. God, that machine looks crazy.
Yeah. Crazy tube thing. All right. Back.
Come on. Don't be afraid. You know me.
We're pals.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Oh no, I shouldn't have inhaled this.
Ah.
There you go, love. Time for me to destroy the lab.
I actually do kind of like this. We've seen a lot of mad scientist laboratories, and how many, like, lab rampages have we seen?
Not a lot. Not many, right? Have we seen a lot?
I don't think we have.
Yeah, a lot of the times it's just kind of there and forgotten. By the end, nobody's like, what do we need? How do we dispose of this mad scientist laboratory? Just go pour all this shit out back, or like, I don't know what's in this beaker, but I guess it's okay to just pour out right here on the ground.
Yeah, that's the last little bit. He has to kick over the handrail.
I mean, that's what you gotta love the monster's discretion of what they will and won't knock into. Climb that mountain. Oh my gosh. Dedicated wife. Is this supposed to be the top of the volcano? Ooh.
What? What?
The antidote. He just regenerated a fresh right side. It's like a snake shedding its skin. Serpentine! Serpentine! Holy shit!
What? Wow. I kind of made that choice for him, I guess.
Yeah. Fate has a way of working those things out on its own. Life finds a way.
I guess there's nothing else we can do now, except wait.
I'll wait. I'll wait as long as I have to.
It may be quite a while. I'll have to make a
Dedicated
formal
wife.
arrest when he's well enough. I have no choice.
Seriously, oh my god.
I understand, Superintendent.
If she was, you know...
It's going to pose quite a legal problem.
Any other wife.
Who really did all these things?
It wasn't Larry. It couldn't have been Larry. It must have been something, someone else. Why did it have to happen? Why?
I don't know, Linda. He was an average sort of guy, the image of us all. How can I say this? There was good in Larry and there was evil. The evil part broke through, took hold. Call it an accident or call it a warning.
A warning?
Call it an
I'm a reporter,
explanation.
not a mystic, Linda. But there are things beyond us, things perhaps we're not meant to understand. If what's happened has made this all clear, well then, perhaps it makes sense after all. Have faith, Linda. Have faith in the good that's still in Larry. And in all men.
That was the Manster. So, what did we think, Evan?
You know, I digged that movie. I thought that was a pretty good film.
Not bad, right? Enjoyable. It definitely, once he's got the second head and he's rampaging around and the cops are chasing him, you're like, okay, where's this going? And then you get the split. And the split is like, I mean, again, there's an alternate, the UK title of this movie was The Split. So that kind of tells you.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a nice surprise, right? That
Yeah, you don't usually see that in like a two-headed monster thing where it splits into two people.
Well, that's kind of, you know, it's very absurd and insane. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
you
not
know,
really.
like how is one person gonna split into two people and still like
There's
each
some-
person has two arms and two legs? And
Some power. Yeah, everybody's got the right number of like lungs
yeah,
and
perfect cut,
guts,
clean. Yeah,
ventricles and stuff.
that's what I'm saying. Are we saying this is just like a snake shedding its skin? Like, okay, let me just step out of here,
Yeah.
and you got your body, I got my body, we're all good. I don't know. But it's a fun movie. It's a very enjoyable movie, and again, between the set design, the cinematography, the lighting, there's a lot of atmosphere going on, and there's subtlety, which we don't get in a lot of the movies on this show. Subtle is not the name of the game here on the Scream Stream.
Right, yeah.
But you know, here it's again, you could say it's a play on a Jekyll and Hyde type of story. It's
Yeah,
honestly-
because like it was that he always had the evil with him and the serum kind of brought it out, I guess. Or was the serum really just what was responsible for it all.
Well,
Like,
no, I think
was he actually bad or
no, well, it was in him, and then he got the injection at the beginning of the enzyme, and that brought out his worst side to the point that first just in him, but then physically, first through the head, and then it was causing him to just be a monster. But then when they created the antidote, that was the opportunity for them to split.
Yeah, so the aftermath of this movie should be that all of his bad qualities have just been pulled out by science. He's now the perfect husband. He's
That
a good
is
boy, finally.
honestly how I saw the ending. That is how I've interpreted it. Well, all his evil's out now. He's gonna be a good guy.
Well, we threw all his evil stuff into a volcano.
We threw, including his mistress. It was all her fault. She's done now. She's melted to bits and melted to dust.
Well, honey, my midlife crisis is over. Let's go back to New York.
That was essentially the ending that we
got. Look, this is a different country. We can just put this all behind us. Let's just go home.
Yeah. Tidy, nice and tidy ending, right? Really put a bow on that there, without a doubt. Certainly, I'm not concerned as to how this husband and wife is going to continue with their lives, except for the fact that, like you said, Evan, she's just like, yep, that was all the bad within him, and now I got a perfect husband who will never cheat on me again, ever.
Yep, we just can't go back to Japan.
Yeah, he just has a thing for Japanese women. If I can just make sure that we're as far away from a Japanese woman as possible, our marriage will be perfect. That's the logic that's going on here.
So if you have two heads and one of them, if you have two heads and you split into two people, is he still liable for the murders, or do they just get to pin them all on the guy they threw into the volcano?
That's what I wondered when I was getting this movie prepared for us to watch, and I was kind of scrolling through it. I asked myself that question for the first time. Wait, he
still killed
a lot of people. He's just walking away. I saw the ending, and I see he's just what? Isn't he? And they're just accepting that the bad part of him was that other thing, and yeah. I was also questioning that as well. But
local custom.
Yeah, I mean that's just the beauty of these movies. Maybe that's why they call this schlock, is that you can't question the logic too much. Or it's gonna
maybe that's fridge logic.
Yeah, you just kind of have to accept that it's all happy rainbows and butterflies ending, everything worked out okay and everybody's good.
Status quo.
Even though there was a body count 10 plus. Everything's okay. You're good to go, sir. Have a safe journey back to America.
Just get out of our country.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Get out of here. Little scamp. So that was the Manster. Not a bad little monster movie.
Not at all.
No, it was enjoyable, and I was glad to kind of, when I watched it, I was the first time I was definitely taken with the atmosphere and everything else, and so watching it again, see the ridiculous parts of the plot, but
it's almost got a little film noir-y in the outdoor.
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I cannot think that that's actually natural lighting. I assume that they're having to really rigorously light to make it look as effective as it does. But if so, I mean, that's, again, a testament to the craftsmanship of the people involved, or just the fact that maybe they had a better budget than what we're used to on this show. But yeah, no, visually it was a very enjoyable movie. I mean, and again, we picked up the mad scientist theme from last week. We got the so next week we're off the mad scientist theme. But it's interesting. We are still on the whole man to monster theme trope, if you will.
Okay.
Next week we're watching the 1953 I don't want to say jungle horror movie, but Bride of the Gorilla, which I shouldn't say stars Lon Chaney Jr. Lon Chaney Jr. is in it, but he's not a monster in any way. He's more of a lower level character, but it is about a kind of Wolfman like man to monster transformation. And it's actually directed and written by the same guy who originally wrote The Wolfman. So it's weird. Like, he writes kind of a play on The Wolfman and casts Lon Chaney Jr. in it, but he casts Lon Chaney as a cop who's just investigating and isn't the monster in any way. He's just there. But we still get a Lon Chaney Jr. movie and Bride of the Gorilla. Guess what? It's an ape core.
Oh boy.
We're getting a true ape core film. Because I don't think tonight's movie was
maybe not quite.
Not quite. Especially if we're considering ape core to be the really terrible costume of the ape that was prevalent in Hollywood that Crash Corrigan wore and some other wore. Yeah, this is definitely that. And instead of mad science, we're getting more voodoo, and so it's always fun changing it up. But it's essentially man turns into gorilla, so it's the Wolfman treatment. And the writer director also is the writer director on 13 Demon Street, which we're watching for our mini-sodes. We didn't see this past week, but we'll be back on 13 Demon Street next week, next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Can't wait.
So that's when we'll be streaming next. And of course, you can catch Bride of the Gorilla next Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you're interested in seeing any of our past episodes, you can go find those over on our YouTube page at Scream Stream Live. You can go find me over on X. I'm just gonna have to start calling it X now. I don't want to, but I think I'm gonna have to.
Just for SEO purposes.
Yeah, I gotta bite the bullet. But you can find me over on X at Spakenstein. You can find the show over on X at Scream Stream Show. Also over on Instagram at Scream Stream Show. Mr. Evan Sink is on Instagram and Twitter at Caligari Cursed. Anything before we sign off tonight, Evan?
Sayonara.
Sweet screams, everybody.
And to all a good fright.